Hello and welcome to Roadmap 2015. I'm Benga Ashiru. We begin today with the review of Nigeria's former head of state, General Muhammadu Buhari's formal declaration to run for the office of the president come February 2014. General Buhari, in a speech, criticized the federal government for failing to tackle insecurity and corruption. But the president fired back at the former head of state, saying General Buhari's criticism against the federal government was baseless and reckless. Well, let's come back to the internal workings of the APC. The eventual party flag bearer for the APC's presidential bid is expected to emerge through an adopted modified direct primaries. For now, let's take a listen to some excerpts from retired General Muhammadu Buhari's speech and also as it picks up its nomination form to contest for the presidential elections.
I humbly wish to present myself before you, before all Nigerians, and before God, seeking to be elected as APC's presidential candidate. Since 1999, PDP has presided over our country's decline. Nigeria, in my experience, has never been so divided, so polarized by an unthinking government, hell-bent on ruling and stealing forever whatever before the country. Mr. Chairman, we in APC are resolved to stop them in their tracks and rescue Nigeria from the stronghold of PDP.
His most uncharitable and inexcusable accusation against the present administration was that election rigging continues to thrive in Nigeria. We trust that all patriotic, objective, and non-partisan Nigerians will reject that allegation, knowing it to be invalid. And they will have the evidence of the progressively freer, fairer, and ever more credible elections conducted under the Jonathan administration to support their position.
Now let's see what's happening in the fold of the People's Democratic Party. Several ministers not in governorship interests are expected to resign their appointments from the federal cabinet on or before October 20, in line with the PDP's constitution. Also within the party, the PDP's National Reconciliation Project is still on, and the PDP says it's a way of bringing back aggrieved members of the party who left back to the fold. While the reconciliation move by the PDP is being lauded in some quarters, it has also come under heavy knocks by some, especially the APC, who called it a beggar's orchestra. The critics say the PDP should do the needful. But the PDP, in a swift reaction to these allegations, denies any insinuation that its reconciliation project is not yielding results. Instead, the PDP insists it has been able to manage its own differences well. The PDP, in a rather dramatic twist, lashed back at the APC, saying the APC is experiencing an implosion which will last till the eve of elections. Now let's take a listen to Chief Shuaib Oyedokun. He's a member of the PDP Board of Trustees.
We put down some criteria at different levels, and we made independent assessments. What are we going to do? We discovered that PDP had gone through a lot of vicissitude the last 1 year, where you find political migrants going out in exodus, only to, just to destabilize the party. We had also a lot of internal disintegration, which people called implosion in PDP because of our size. Then we thought about it. How do we get this party stable? How do we get the country stable? And not that it was planned, it just came like that.
Now, you've pointed out the fear of implosion within the PDP. Now, if you're concentrating on how the PDP could be united against having disaffection within the PDP, would you say that President Goodluck Jonathan is the best the party, your party, the PDP, could offer?
I don't know what you mean by best candidate, but as far as we know, as far as we believe, and from all indications, for now, that is the best candidate Nigeria had been lucky to have. And What is democracy? Is it not decision making by consultations and agreement? Whatever process you take to it. When you say democracy, you do consultation. By the people do the consultation for themselves, by themselves.
You've come up with an interesting dimension in your definition of democracy. Now, what happens to the voice of majority in your own definition?
When you say democracy is for the people, by the people, it used to be by the people in the Greek sense of it, when everybody will assemble in the community. But now it is by a representative, elected few representatives.
So what happens to the
and
voice?
What
happens, Oyedokun, what happens to the voice of majority?
The majority are being represented by those who took the decisions, and they had to consult them. If the House of Representatives take a decision now, will you say it's not valid? Because they are representing their constituencies. All those people who participated in the discussion, in the dialogue, are representatives of their various sectors.
What is the legality, what is the legitimacy of the representatives? Do they have the mandate of the popular opinion?
They all have the mandate of their people, because it's not just overnight. We have done a lot of consultation underground, and we had feedbacks. We have people really prompting us to do it.
Now, let's make some projections towards the 2015 presidential elections. How do you see the posturing of the PDP against the APC?
Well, the APC is making every effort to stop that. And that's why they embark on poaching. And the poaching now is, I think, is getting counterproductive. By the time we were undergoing that process of rumpus in the PDP, they thought they were having a field day. But now, the party, PDP, has stabilized. We are consolidating. Their own problem is just starting now, and it will continue like that until the eve of the election.